Welcome to watch this updated video. Without further ado, let's take a look at the first updated feature. In older versions, the edge density range and model number ratio were automatically calculated based on distance, making it difficult to control the effect of distance gradient. In this upgrade, we added the distance gradient offset parameter. It can flexibly increase or decrease the exclusion density range while maintaining the ratio between the normal model and the edge model. The second update is the addition of spline mesh mode. As you can see from my screenshot annotation, when using spline lines to directly lay out the railings at slopes or corners, the railings will become misaligned. Now, I will select as spline, find the spline mesh category, and check spline mesh mode. After the spline lines were drawn, the railings began to align automatically. The current effect is suitable for placing railings on terrain with minimal undulation. If you need the railings to be connected end to end, you can enable deformation. When enabled, the railings will deform and be spliced together end to end. In some cases, you may need to adjust the fix offset parameter, which can correct the distance between two railings. Another parameter is random changes. When enabled, the railings will randomly change each time parameters are changed or the blueprint is moved. In addition, you can replace the static mesh at the beginning and end of the spline. The cap count parameter controls the number of static meshes to be replaced, and they can also be scaled individually. Finally, it's worth mentioning that due to limitations in the underlying UE logic, this feature offers a significantly better experience in UE5.6 Plus than in UE5.5. In UE5.5, most parameters will be disabled, while in UE5.6 Plus only a few will fail. The third update concerns the interaction features between PCG and Foliage modes. First, let's look at PCG to Foliage. It's very easy to use. First, simply select the PCG blueprint in the scene, and then click the selected PCG to Foliage button on the Scriptable Tool panel to successfully convert it. Now, if you turn on Plants mode, you can see that the plants scattered in the PCG have been converted. Then you can use the Plant mode tools to edit them again. It is worth noting that the tool currently only supports PCG blueprints belonging to natural PCG tools. A warning will pop up if a blueprint that is not within the scope of the conversion is selected. Now let's look at Foliage to PCG. There are already some foliages in the scene. Now we open the Scriptable Tool panel and click the S Foliage button. Then draw the area in the scene that needs to be converted to PCG. Next, click the Selected Foliage to PCG button, and you will see that foliage has been successfully converted to PCG. After the conversion, each foliage category will have a corresponding option in the PCG blueprint, and you can replace them all at any time. After conversion, you can edit their position, scale, or projection again. In addition, you can enable the Surface Scatter feature to perform secondary scattering on the model. By entering the index of the corresponding object, a static mesh can be scattered again on that object. You can adjust the scattering density, randomization size, or fix overlap issues. If needed, you can also scatter objects on a specific material ID. When textures are enabled, scattering will be filtered based on the model's UV coordinates. By pairing the corresponding material ID with UV textures, advanced scattering can be performed at specified locations on the model. Now we come to the surround mesh section. Unlike other blueprints, we've optimized the surround mesh functionality of this blueprint. It can more precisely control the range and density, and can also control the size change of the scattering object according to the distance. This concludes the introduction to Foliage to PCG's features. Finally, let's discuss its drawbacks. Due to an underlying logic issue in UE, the foliages are only hidden after conversion. When you open Foliages mode, you'll see that their number hasn't decreased. If you edit the foliages and then press Ctrl+C to return, you'll see that the foliages have all returned. If the scene requires repeated editing, I don't recommend using this feature. The last updated feature was texture gradient. First, you need to add the PCG color change material function to the static mesh material, and then connect them to complete the configuration. Let's first look at the global configuration. After that, we can directly enable the texture gradient feature in the change group within the blueprint. Once activated, the entire PCG will instantly change color. You can adjust the gradient range via parameters, switching between solid colors and texture colors. For trees, I recommend enabling volumetric texture as it enhances the color gradient effect. For low-lying plants such as grass or shrubs, I recommend using the local mode. Once configured, you simply need to select the corresponding filter in the blueprint and then use the Scriptable tool to draw the filter range. Unlike the global mode, the local mode allows you to enable the edge falloff option. When enabled, the gradient range will match the filter you select. You can also adjust the gradient range using the gradient falloff parameter. The above summarizes the main content of this update. For other update details, please refer to the update documentation. If you find the product satisfactory, please give it a 5-star rating on the product page. Any feedback or suggestions are welcome. Your valuable opinions will help improve the product.